Why, hello there. I'm Natalie. I am an artist and an intuitive, and I'm excited to welcome you to my channel. So right now I am working on creating my very first oracle deck. Actually, that's not exactly true. I did design an oracle deck back in the day when I was a graphic designer, but it never actually went to print. So this time, this is my creation. I'm not making it for a client, and I'm excited to bring you along with me, even though I kind of don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm gonna figure it out as I go. These are some of my favorite decks, and although I have a lot of them, none of them quite feel like what I wish my ideal deck would look like or feel like. I really like angel cards, so I want to make a deck that is an angel card deck, but I don't want it to be quite like the other ones that are already out there. I want to make one that's a little bit more simple and graphic. This is probably my most used deck over the years, the Inner Star Oracle by Joe Klima. And I really love how these are very colorful and very simple. So this is definitely an inspiration. But I also really like the classic tarot cards. I mean, this one's not exactly classic, but I like the shape of these ones and how they're just really easy to maneuver. So this is where I'm starting with inspiration-wise. So I've already started making a list of all the different cards that I want to have in this deck, all of the archangels that I could possibly think of, and the 12 chakras, both inside our bodies and outside our bodies, and the elements, and a couple of others, so that there's going to be 44 cards. And all of these have kind of like slowly come to me over time. Originally it was just going to be angels, but then I realized I don't have enough for a whole deck, so then I added our energy centers, the elements, and our higher self. As far as the artwork for this deck, I'm gonna paint it. So many months ago, I painted all these different samples, which I will show you. They're just like little watercolor, little samples, and I really like them. I like how loose and rough they are, how there's no boundaries, and they're just kind of like messy and free. So I'm inspired by these and wanting to turn them into cards. So it'll just be really simple watercolor auras, essentially, like angelic auras and the colors of the chakras and the elements that I just showed you. So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I definitely used to be one of those people who always like to color within the lines, but nowadays I prefer to just be very loose and just follow how I feel, and it's more about the process of painting than it is about the outcome and how good it feels in the moment.
I thought it would be a really good idea to start by mocking up on the computer what the cards would actually look like so I can get a sense of what I need to paint before I start painting and what size and what format to put it all in. So I started off by looking for fonts and looking for which font felt right for this deck. And this one popped out at me right away, which was really weird because I was looking at doing more of a script font like these two here, which are really beautiful. I especially love this one at the bottom. And then I kept looking for more script fonts and looking along the lines of those like more handwritten type fonts. And these were cool, I liked them, but when I started to mock them up on the actual card, I thought this one was really beautiful, but it's kind of hard to read, don't you think? And then I put this one in and I just felt like, that's it. That's the font. It's really easy to read. It reminds me of the classic decks and it has kind of like a commanding presence to it. So for some reason, this one's really calling to me, and who knows, maybe I'll change it later, but for now, I'm into it. So I mocked up some more cards. This is not exactly what it's gonna look like. This is clip art, if that isn't obvious. And I want the edges to be more rough, like how this edge down here is rough, but obviously I didn't have the exact right size clip art. But you can get a sense of what I'm going for here. Mine's gonna look different because I'm doing it by hand. But this is kind of what I was thinking, and who knows, maybe as I start making them, the plans will change. But this is where I'm starting from. One of the biggest reasons why I want to create this deck is because I channel angels and I work with spirit guides, and I wanted a tool that I could use to deepen that connection because I see or feel these spirits as colors, and so I thought that watercolor auras would be a really good way for me to strengthen my connection with the angels, but also to teach other people about angels because I teach intuitive development classes and a lot of people ask me about angels and how to work with them, and I feel like this would be a really good tool to introduce people to them and who you can call on for different things, and also just get a really cool message from it. Obviously, I still have to create a booklet of all the meanings that it's going to need to like channel through me and all the artwork. So this is going to be a beautiful journey, and I'm so glad that you are coming along with me. Be sure to hit subscribe if you want to follow along as this deck gets birthed into life, and I'm sure there will be many other creative projects we can work on together in the future as well. But for now, this is the first episode of my channel ever. I just have to get it out there and get it done because the first one's always the hardest, and this is definitely out of my comfort zone, but it's what I feel I am being called to do, so here we go.